Okay, we live. I say.
Yeah, yada. Can we see like live comments and stuff?
So, like, that's why I'm going on my Facebook right now
Mm-hmm.
to see if I can find the live so we can see the comments because I can see them on the computer, but not. But we live right now, so I should see it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
So this will go straight to your Facebook page.
Yep,
Dope.
yep. So I got it. So, like, that's why I'm going. Let me put it on mute though, but I'll be able to see the comments on here. Facebook right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm
So,
looking at your Facebook page. I just see the post from 4 hours ago, so I can't see it yet.
okay, but it'll be. I will refresh it. Go to the Educeumm. So it's not on my personal Facebook page. It's on my Educeumm page for this show,
Oh, okay. Hold on.
and
Hey,
that's
spell.
probably why you didn't see the flyer with your face on it. But
Oh,
Educeumm, EDUCE, then UMM, Educeumm.
I think I like that page, didn't
Yeah, you did
I? Okay, that yeah. Well, apparently I did. Maybe I liked it from my artist page. You know how that go.
for sure.
Okay, yeah, I see the one with your mama and your grandma. Is that your grandma? Who's
Yep,
that?
that was me, my mom, and my grandma. So now, if you refresh or you click on the live, it should be up there because we live.
I'm sharing it right now.
Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
So yeah, so we should be able to see comments as they come up on here. I see already we got one viewer. So hey, shout out to whoever you are. Feel free to jump
Hey,
in the chat box. You know what I'm saying, and let us know that you're here.
hey, viewer.
I say hello. How are you? Wonderful to see you. Um, so I'll keep my eye on that, and you can as well, since you got it on your phone because we doing the same thing. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Educeumm. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Your girl been busy. I've been super insanely busy. But I have been talking back and forth with SJ for a minute about bringing him on Educeumm and let's have a conversation. And we've been having some interesting experiences together. So it's awesome to talk about that, particularly during Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I just think it's a cool way to wrap up the month. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder if I should save him till March. I was like, no, SJ is great for Black History
I'm
Month.
honored.
So
I'm honored to be on here during Black History Month.
I say, you know what I'm saying?
Especially
For
with our
sure.
history and all the conversations we've had.
Most definitely, and I think that sometimes the private conversations that we have need to be had aloud,
Right.
because what's important about this particular platform, that feedback is weird. I hope that's, yeah. Is that better? I sit back, farther away from it.
It didn't sound too bad. It's talking about kind of like that close
Yeah, the
sound.
crackly. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not too
Well,
bad.
it's not too bad. Okay. We'll figure it out one day, but today ain't it. Okay. But educum, the point of it, the root word of educate is educe, and that just means to
Can you hear that? I'm sorry. Can you hear that horn in the background over here?
yeah, that's so my grandpa when he retired from Chicopee 100 years ago, they gave him a grandfather clock, which he makes sure is wound up all the time. And I just happened to be at my grandparents tonight. So my grandma had
Oh, okay.
surgery earlier this week. She had knee replacement surgery, so we over here to make sure that they don't need to come down the stairs or anything. Yeah, but I digress. Sorry, but yeah, that was the bell.
Somebody's outside. Somebody's outside, like honking their horn, like vigorously. Like that's why I
Oh,
was told.
I thought you were talking about my grandpa's
No,
car.
somebody's outside, like just holding their horn, like. That's why I was like. Anyway, my
Okay,
bad.
no worries. I was what I was gonna say that oh, Educin, right?
Right.
Educin. Educe is the root word of to bring out, right? So the idea is that all the knowledge, a lot of times, all the answers to many of the questions that we have are already inside of us, but sometimes we just need to take the time to look for those answers, right? To have conversations that bring those answers out of us, right? To go and seek
Right.
knowledge that helps bring it out of us. And so Educeum is all about bringing it out, right? With the hard conversations, the fun conversations, and of course, to just do it in a discussion manner, right? So the
Right.
idea behind discussion is that there's an ebb and a flow. It's not that we agree on everything or that we always see eye to eye, but we can respect each other's opinion and talk
Right.
about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what Educum is about. And like I said before, I'm very excited to have SJ on. I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit, and then I usually like to talk about like why I and how another person. So I think I just start there. I start with why and how I know SJ and why he's been invited. So I actually don't know why I know SJ outside of he was my mom's student and our parents went to school together, right? So it's just kind of like somebody who's always been around, but I can't say a specific, oh, we were at basketball practicing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't remember when or why or how it happened, but it almost just kind of seems like you've always been there. So,
Right.
but SJ, right? But SJ, and particularly when I think about you, in the most recent sense, is your indie independent night, right? That was popping
Mhm.
before COVID happened, that you have been doing for a while, right? But I remember it because when I decided to start doing my music at a very late age, it was like, we got space, you know what I'm saying? Which is important to me, right? Creating
Right.
space, ground, opportunity, right? And willing to do that on all different levels. And the fact that you've been doing it for a minute, right? With your independent music night and other ventures. So the first thing I think about when I think about SJ is hip hop culture, right? And generally, honestly, when I think about white people and hip hop culture, I don't think positive things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
but that's why we're gonna talk to SJ. And it's funny because I was talking talking to my mom, who knows both of your parents, and she's like, whenever I think of SJ, I don't think of a white person. That's not the first
Mama
thing that comes
said
to
that.
mind. She was like, yeah, mom was like, I always forget SJ is white, right? And I was like, Mom.
Yeah, I think Mama used to just say she would either call me Steven or just say Hanson because that's my last name. She was like Hanson. Come here, right
Yes,
there.
yes, for sure, right? And it's but long story short, it kind of can can leave your mind, not in a way where you become colorblind, because that's a term that really aggravates me and I
Me
completely
too.
disagree with,
Me too.
right? But I do believe that you can become friends with a person to the point where other things become unimportant and they begin to fall away, right? All of those barriers that society has been blockades that society puts in your mind, they fade. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
become irrelevant and unimportant, and there's not anything that you think about anymore, right? So eventually we'll get into that conversation and some of the experiences that you and I have both had that have to do with prejudice and things of that nature, I say. And but first, I want to let you just introduce yourself, right? Introduce who you
Uh,
are, what you do, and where people can find out more information about you. One, because you just mentioned your artist page, right? So that means that we have several different ways to contact SJ. We're going to be talking more to just the person, SJ, tonight, but I definitely want you to introduce the artist as well.
okay. Well, I appreciate that for real because I recently changed my branding name. Born and raised Stephen James Hanson. Went to Central. That's how I met your mother. Um, and of course, our parents. Well, my dad and your mom went to school together. She was my drama teacher. For those who don't know, and I remember being in class and just hearing this name China, 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 and your mom would be China, China. I'm like, and then I would see you, and I'm like, oh, okay, because we're a few years apart, and so
Mm-hmm.
I like looked up to you because I'm like, you're my teacher's daughter, and then you're older, and you weren't unpopular, you know what I'm saying? So your name was popping in high school, you know what I mean?
I
Uh,
say.
what year did you graduate?
Oh, 2002.
'02. So I was '05.
Okay.
So when I went to Central, you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe no, maybe you were a senior,
A senior year.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we never we never hung out. like, but I knew who you were. And then fast forward, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing each other through the thing. But so that's that. But as far as me, just I recently changed my name from I'm Stephen James to Steve James Indy because my parents spelled my name PHAN and trying to market that. And I go around, hey, I'm Steve James. Like people always type it wrong. And so I just went ahead and changed it to Steve James. For real, like I feel like I got like that goofy ass that goofy ass shit where like the white teachers can't pronounce black people's names in school, that old joke.
Yeah,
I got that for white people. Like it's spelled like Stefan when Urkel hopped out the time machine. You know what I'm
for
saying? Like
sure.
I
Yeah,
got the blackest Steven name. You know what I'm saying? Like how's your name Steven?
for
But it's
sure.
still Stefan, like and this is not just me saying, this is my friends telling me, this grown up, like, why your parents name you Steven with a PHAE? And that's ghetto as fuck. I'm like, and there's my daddy's name too. I'm another Steven.
Right second.
Anyway, so I changed my name because I was Brandon. I'm Stephen James. I'm Stephen James, and nobody could find me. Like I would do a show and have no followers afterwards. I'm like, what the fuck? So I
Mm,
changed it to Steve James to make it simple. Shout out to YK, he told me to do this shit 10 years ago. And I added indie because of Independent Music Night, because
okay.
that's kind of what I got known for. I did it for 10 years pre-COVID. So Steve James Indie is the brand. I produced somewhere between a half a dozen and a dozen projects for other artists that I work with. Obviously, I'll be on those projects, but I've never put out a solo album. Um, So that's what I'm into. COVID is kind of a gift and a curse because I hadn't had time to just work on me, and that's what I'm doing. So hopefully that's a roundabout intro.
I say for sure. Most
I don't know what else to say. I'm pretty sure we'll get into it anyway.
For sure, we most definitely will. Actually, I would like for you to talk about a little bit before we move into anything else about your independent music night that you were doing for 10 years. Can you tell us just a little bit about that, the purpose of it, and what the
Mhm.
platform is used for?
I would love to tell you about that because briefly, just for example, like we just lost Ice Smiles about a week or two ago. They buried him today.
Hmm.
I didn't go to the funeral. I just couldn't go to another funeral. One of the homies is like, see all my friends sad. I had to keep my positive energy going. So I regret not going, but I think it was for the best. But the reason I'm saying that is because independent music night was created for the artist by the artist. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um, I did it because I got tired of these janky ass promoters I dealt with growing up. I got into the game at a young age. People think I'm like 40 something, like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But that's people that met me when I started. So they ain't thinking I'm around their age, but I was like the youngest dude around, and obviously I stood out. So I started because you got the person booking the show, right, which is either a club owner, venue owner. Um, then you got the guy that's promoting the show in the middle. Then you got the artist. And so what happens in between that is they book a major artist, and usually they're from fucking Memphis or some shit down the street. You know what I mean? And they're busting our heads to open up for the show, and we don't have nothing else to really get us out there other than tagging the parking lots up with flyers or something. And I just told myself, my daughter was 2 years old. I just got let go from my job at Baptist. Buck Baptist is what I used to say, even though I was born there. And you get that one?
What'd you say?
Buck
Book
Baptist.
Baptist.
Buck Baptist.
Um,
Buck Fuck Baptist. That's what it's.
I heard. Yeah, I get it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
But I was so mad I got fired, and I was like, and I didn't get fired. I got let go during the recession. The recession hit, and I was like, I'm not working for nobody else, and I didn't work for anybody else for almost 10 years, other than little part-time hustles. And that was because of independent music night. I
Hmm.
started because I got tired of janky promoters. I got tired of working for other people. So I set up to where it was beneficial to the artist without having to attract any mainstream um, interest. Like we didn't have to bring down a mainstream artist to bring a crowd out. You know what I mean? Because mostly before that, hip hop wise, people would throw a show. Um, Maybe 40, 50 people come out. If somebody just dropped the album, you might get 100, 200 people. But it was like hit and miss. It wasn't consistent. So we did it every month for 10 years. And
Hmm.
every month we had like, now starting out, we had the 40, 50 people. But
Hmm.
then it grew and it grew. And we started averaging 100 people on a bad night. And I set it up eventually to where the artists sell tickets and make money off of it because I realized there was no other show in the state of Arkansas that would pay artists. And if there was, it was like just a guy throws a show, he likes this person, he book them once, and it'd be a one and done, but nothing consistent where artists could make money. The original goal was like, I need to pay some rent, but I'm gonna do it fair. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For the culture. And I don't mean just black culture, definitely that, but also just for the culture of hip hop and the culture of street entrepreneurship,
For
which
sure.
is the sixth element of hip hop. A lot of people don't talk about that. They talk about the four and five, but it's like the fifth and sixth element of hip hop, street entrepreneurship, making something out of nothing. So I was like, fuck it. We're gonna blow the show up for the local artists, fuck the mainstream. And if you got some hustling, you can make some money. If I don't know you, you got to come buy these tickets up front because I'm not about to just bet on you and then be owing the club money. But that's a whole nother conversation. But
For
either way,
sure.
we booked over 500 artists in a 10-year span. Nobody's ever done it. I used to
Wow.
not talk. I never used to talk about it. And I'm not saying that to brag. People are like, man, you need to flex your shit. But I'm like, man, I'm cool on that. But I booked it because I got tired of getting treated like shit. That could be the main easy answer.
Mm,
That's why I started it. I got tired of getting treated like shit. You know.
mm. That's what's up. Okay. So, I guess we should just ask the first questions, which should be probably obvious, right? So, how, SJ, did you get into hip hop, right? And how do you see yourself as a part of like of Black culture? You know what I'm saying? Because I have my
Mm-hmm.
own perspective, but I would like for you to go first.
Okay. That's probably good. And look, I gotta say this. This is the first time outside of personal conversations publicly in detail I've talked about this. And I'm so comfortable with it because I'm so comfortable with myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it's funny because I just now in this moment I realized like I've never really talked about this publicly other than like, tight circle conversations. But I've thought about it 1,000 times.
For sure.
Um, so first hip hop, one of my favorite things growing up in the hood was I could be trying to sleep and I could hear my favorite song randomly in the middle of the night going down the street. And it was like, bow, 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 somebody trunk rattling. I used to think that shit was so cool when I was a kid because I wanted a fire ass car with a trunk for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be laying in my bed and I'll be hearing like Big Pimpin' spinach cheese. And I'm like, that's my song. And I'm like 12.
Mm,
I just thought that was so cool. Like, and nobody cared. Like, ain't nobody calling the police. And and I remember being a kid and when some of my white friends would come over, which I had very few that actually came over. I remember one time I was outside playing and it was a car going down the street thumping. And the kid hid behind like a telephone pole, was like peeking out. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like he was scared to be there, and I didn't understand it at the time.
hmm
You know what I mean? And then I had cousins that would come visit, and I mean, I think some of them maybe had some racist teachings by default, like not even knowing. It's just that brainwashing shit that we all had in some way or another, to where like they would come around and be that tension. You know what I'm saying? But hip
hmm
hop was always there, and I feel like that was always like a good conversation starter.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody would like a good song. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? So hip hop has always been in my life. I remember vaguely when Tupac died in '96. I couldn't have been but 7, 8 years old. I
Hmm.
remember coming outside. I remember exactly where I was standing. It's this um, metal fence between my mom and Miss Brenda's house next door. And I remember distinctly because there's a dent in it because we always used to hit it with our baseball bats like as hard as we could. And I remember coming outside and people was like just acting like not frustrated, but just kind of sad. And I remember somebody Tupac died, and I was like, I think I know who that is. Like you hear it on the radio, you're 7, 8 years old, you don't really know.
Hmm.
But I just remember when I was at a young age, I just remember just hearing random hip hop lyrics and random song lyrics my friends would sing, and it would just be in the back of my head. And then as I got older and started being old enough to like, I'm gonna go get this CD or I'm gonna turn it to the station I want because my mama's gone, she's not home. Like I started understanding like this shit has always been in the back of my mind as a kid. Like I would hear that shit. I would ride around with my friends, their older cousin be bumping all the shit from No Limit, Master P shit. You know what I mean? The older generation in our neighborhood was like always putting us up on that shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like hip hop, how I got into it, like I didn't go get into it. Like I, no disrespect, but I'm not Post Malone. Post Malone fucking first hip hop experience record, whatever he was fucking Fat Joe Lean Back. And I know he's younger, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how old he is, but it was like, bro, hip hop has always been. I think Post Malone said something like he had never really heard hip hop like that. I can't remember a time where I didn't hear hip hop music. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to the Big Apple in seventh grade and being the only white kid there, and it was a dance party, and Baby Boy and it was hosting. And I'm standing on the floor like, shit, it's just like one of the block parties in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And we in there dancing and grinding and doing all the ratchet shit like kids do in junior high. So like how I got into hip hop, it was always there.
I
I
say.
was all shit. And then I started smashing on the dance battle scene, like couldn't nobody fuck with me. And they
Mm-hmm.
hated that shit, but they loved it. Like
Mm-hmm.
my friends are like, man, because I'd be in the house practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess because like, you know, it's black culture, they feel like, oh, I got risen white boy can't fuck with me. And then I done came out like, what you gonna do? You know? And I'm like, because I had something to prove in a way, you
I say.
know? So hip hop has always been there. And what was the second question? Hip hop has always been there. That's the only way I can put it.
For sure. And I was gonna say, how do you feel it? How do you feel you fit into Black culture?
It always changes.
Hmm.
It always changes. And to kind of wrap up the last question, I think I didn't get into hip hop. Hip hop got into me in a way. You know, it was a part of it, of my life from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was in elementary school, I remember being confused.
Hmm.
Um, I gotta find my phone charger. I'm listening. I mean, I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
I got into this state of mind when I was a kid that, and this is brainwashing from, you know, people just talking,
Mm-hmm.
where I felt like when I went to school, there was a such thing of acting black and acting white,
For
right?
sure. For sure. Yeah.
I mean, we kind of know there is, but there's no such thing at the same
No,
time.
it's not.
So,
Yeah, it's not. But I know what the stereotype you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right. So there's this acting black, acting white. And I remember talking to my best friend, throwback, growing up. And I felt like when I went to elementary school, I had to talk white or act white. And I honestly didn't know what that was, other than another even worse stereotype, which was talking proper.
Hmm.
You know, and that's some bullshit. And I'm looking for a cord. Sorry.
You good?
Charge my damn phone up. So that that was a hell of a conundrum for me because I'm like, what is acting black and acting white? I had to contemplate that at an early age because when I would go home, I would be the only white kid on the block from Philander Smith all the way to the Boys Club on 33rd and State. Like there
Okay.
wasn't a white family on the whole strip.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did, they didn't come outside and mingle with anybody. They wasn't cool like my parents. So I used to wonder where I fit in, not with my friends in the neighborhood, because that was real clear. Like if I came in correct, they would fight me just like they fight one of their own. If I was on point and doing some cool shit, they gave me my props. So at an early age, I didn't think about it until I started going to school and started being forced to be around Asian people, Mexican people, black people that don't understand me because they don't have a white friend like me. So I, you know, didn't know how to act. Um, I just remember distinctly always thinking that there's a way to be white and there's a way to be black, and it was really literally black and white, cut and dry.
Hmm.
Getting to junior high school was the eye opener because everybody in my neighborhood, you know, we're maturing, we're starting to be ourselves and grow into the young man that we were going to be later on. And there was this hairstyle that got popular partially because of Texas music. Um, North Houston and South Houston had a real distinct thing going where one side wore braids and one side wore fades. And our whole block, State Street, we was gonna wear braids. And my hair was curly. It still is. It was longer, but it gets curly when it grows out. And it was like, Steve, you gotta get some braids like everybody else in the hood. And I'm like, okay, fuck it, you know. So I grew my hair out, and was a pivotal moment for me. Just my hairstyle alone, resembling a black hairstyle, drew a line with a
Hmm.
lot of people. I'm gonna say this before I go into it. Black people, from my experience, are way more accepting. You might get roasted a little bit. You might have to take some licks, and you come to the barbecue. They gonna question you. Gonna get questioned. It's cool though. It's love in a sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you come wrong, then you get checked. But it's more accepting. White people, they don't know what to do with themselves sometimes. Like, and I mean white people. They don't know how to feel. It's like cool to be black now in 2015 to 2020, but when I was a kid, this shit wasn't cool to like hang out with black folks and be of the culture. You
Uh,
know,
I say.
like I remember getting like dudes would try to bully me. White boys try to bully me. Like one
Hmm.
dude came to me in junior high school, and I guess he got put up to it. And he came to me and said, "Are you in a gang?" And I was like, "No, why?" And he slapped me. He didn't slap me even that hard. Like it was kind of like a little tap. And he walked off, and his friends were laughing. They had dared him to do it, and I was like, "Okay, I see where you're going with this." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But then I would go to school, and I would be hanging out with everybody from junior high. I mean, from elementary to junior high school. But anyway, back to the hairstyle thing. It drew a line. Like when I popped up with the braids, there were some kids black that couldn't accept it because they didn't know any better. They never seen no shit like that. White kids definitely didn't know what to think of it. I got made fun of every day, and I just embraced it. Like, all right, cool, because
Hmm.
it happened right when our dance concert came up in seventh or eighth grade with Miss Presley, and rest in peace to Miss Presley. Um, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't care. Like, it probably bothered me, but looking back, I honestly didn't because we was in a dance concert and I was killing the shit anyway.
Hmm.
So it all went along with it. He could dance. He got braids. He ain't faking the funk. He from the hood. And my partner stood up for me. So then I
Yeah.
finally had a grasp on my identity, and I knew that because I would contemplate myself like, am I acting a certain way? And I'm thinking like, I'm not an actor. I'm not a thespian. Like shoot, I'm being me. I'm being of my raising. You know, and that's it. Like, but it always changed. Like I went to Riverfest with my partners every year, or Juneteenth every year, and I would run into younger black dudes that never met me. And it was always a test. It's like they always had to test me. I always had to test me, whether it was
Hmm.
a stereotype or some shit. And my homeboys would fall back a little bit to see if I would stand up for myself.
Hmm.
And I always did. Sometimes I go home pissed off.
Hmm.
And then if somebody outside of the clique got got sideways, they would check them. Like, no, that's Steve. You ain't fucking with him.
Right.
So, and then of course you got friends that disappear, people you find out are fake. That's neither here nor there. But it always changed. And then fast forward into high school, I'm all the way with the shit. I'm comfortable with myself. Braids, Jabos, Air Force Ones, whatever. It is what it is. And then I'm dancing just as good as everybody else. And so I was like, hey, and I remember getting teachers fucking with me.
Hmm.
Like I got expelled from summer school. Uh, not because of my the way I am. Well, yeah, I take that back. I got expelled because I cussed in class, being a smart ass. Miss Pride said I need a exclamatory. It was an English class, and I said, "Damn it, is an exclamatory." And she said, "Get out of my class," or something like that. But I went to the principal's office, and the principal was an older black dude, and he was like, "Oh, you think you funny, Slim Shady? Huh? You think it's funny, Slim Shady?" And I was like, "No, why you gotta call me that?" Like, it pissed me off because then it was like, "Are you trying to be funny?" He's trying to like get under my skin. I had white teachers kind of say little slick shit, black teachers say slick shit. So it always made me wonder. I was in a mall one day, and I had on a what's that? What's that Asian style of drawing?
Manga anime.
Anime. Yeah, it was anime. Sort of like Boondock style anime though.
Fire.
And
Yeah.
it was a black kid on my shirt. It was a sweater. It was cold ass sweater too. It was like an iceberg or something. And he had
Hmm.
some dice, and they had a headband to match. And like I went to Central with it on, and everybody's like, "Man, that shit's tight as fuck." I was like, "Yeah." So I'm this white kid with braids, dancing, walk around school with a black person on my shirt. I go to the mall with one of my white friends at the time, and I'm walking around the Gap of all places, and it's a black lady in there with her daughter, and she's staring at me like snarling. And she got close enough to me to say, "Think you one of us? You ain't shit," or something like that. And I was like, oh, "What the fuck?" I'd never dealt with that. This is ninth grade. So when you say like, how do I fit in a black culture? I don't know. It's always changed. Now things are a little better, you know. But growing up, I was always questioning. Like, I never thought like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna move to the suburbs and start acting like Peter Johnson or whoever. But I always knew I was gonna be with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be here with my friends I grew up with. Like, if one of my friends is dealing with some shit, I'm gonna deal with it with them. I'm not gonna change, 18 years worth of learning just to try to fit in society better. I'd rather just deal with the consequences, which, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think I've gotten along pretty well.
For
You
sure.
know?
For
I've dealt with
sure.
a lot of shit. I tell you this, when I get frustrated, I think, you know what? I still ain't had to deal with what y'all had to deal with.
I
So
say.
I so I could chill. Like my
I
mom taught
say.
me the difference between empathy and sympathy. And here's a pivotal moment. The police had all my friends yanked out of the car in front of my mom's house growing up because their car looked like a car that almost hit a cop car in Southwest, and we're in the South Side. They pulled them out the car, had pistols on their pointed at them. Found out it's the wrong car, let them go, and I'm pissed. I'm like, Mom, every time I'm out with my friends, the police fuck with us. They always fuck with us. And she said, well, yeah. She said, but understand this. They're not fucking with y'all. They're fucking with them. And you just happen to be there. And they probably hate you worse. But if it was a group full of white boys, they wouldn't be fucking with y'all.
I say.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? They fucking with us. And I'm like, ready to bang on the shit. I'm like, fuck that. She's like, no, you understand it. But she said, you are not a black kid. You grew up around black kids. So you see what they're going through. And because you're empathetic, you feel it. But there's a big difference between empathy and sympathy. And it was a mind blowing experience or situation. Because I'm like, I had to really think about the difference between empathy and sympathy. And I think that's one of the things I've lived by is understanding there's a huge difference. Like you could marry you could be white and marry somebody that's black and be there for them every day of life, be ride or die, and see all the shit they're going through, and you can feel it to your soul, and it can crush you just as much as it crushes them. But there's a reason it's happening to them,
I say.
not you. And I had to learn that at a really young age, you know. And then even when I was married for 7 years, and I would go out in public and we would get looks from black and white people. It would be black dudes walking up to my wife like I could go get a can of beans down the aisle, and they walk up to her like try to holler at her and think the shit was funny because they didn't think I'm not gonna step to them. Or I was leaving Ugly Mike's one day and there was a barber shop next door, and they were saying a little shit. And one of them said out loud, said, "Come on home, sister. Come on home." And I was like, but barbershop's closed now, so there you tell you the kind of energy was over there. Ah! But it's just I've dealt with it all kind of ways. So I never knew where I fit in. I just know that I always found a place to fit in. You're never gonna please everybody. So
I say. I say. Well, first, I just want to say thank you for sharing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
um, I think that it's a pretty courageous space that you find yourself in. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about about the lifestyle that you're living is that it is a choice. You know what I'm saying? As a white male, you could
Right.
choose to live a very different lifestyle. You know what I'm
That'd be
saying?
very hard
But
too, like to
uh,
go out in the suburbs and be like, "Hey, Pam," you know.
right, right. But when I'm just saying you could have, right? But even based on our conversation, you were raised in a black community. You know what I'm saying? Also, like the things that you talk, the way that one of the relationships that your parents had, right? So your parents had black friends, first of
Right.
all, right? And so it's
Right.
not like black people were weird or like you were never around them. And then also, like we've had a lot of conversations. So I know that you have a lot of black mentors and a lot of black people that you look up that you will call uncle and you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, almost like a second
R.I.P.
father.
Curtis Tate.
I say, I
Your
say,
mother, your
I,
mother's earring got hooked onto my braid at Curtis Tate's funeral.
mm,
Cause I saw her, like, I was chill the whole funeral, and I saw your mom. I was like crying and shit, and
mm,
she hugged me, and then like my hair and her earring got hooked, and we like stuck together. And my
yeah,
dad spoke at this funeral. Curtis Tate was my dad's best friend,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, so that was, and when he died, my dad said, you know, he's a storyteller. I was like, yeah. He said, now you're the storyteller.
I
I was
say,
like, what kind of pressure is that? Like,
I
this is Curtis,
say,
you know, that grew up watching this man. Like,
for
you know,
sure.
that was my uncle for real. Like, he come around. Oh, I can't get into it. I'm gonna get emotional.
For sure, for sure. But like, but that kind of leads me back to kind of what my point was, right? Like when you are open, you know what I'm saying? Like the black community can be very, you know what I'm saying? And so like
And
I
rightfully
know the
so. And
relationship
rightfully
and that's
so.
for sure. And so I think that like your relationship with like Curtis and like a lot of other people, like you just really are part of the community. And it didn't really become anything like that. But when I say that you can make a choice, all the difficulty that you've had, right, with having a black wife and just the wearing braids, things of that nature,
Ex-wife,
you had
ex-wife.
to
I'm single.
ex-wife, I say, and having to encounter certain things, you know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, so I said I was going to give my opinion, my spiel, right? And so in my mind, like I know that it's not the same thing. It's nowhere near the same thing. But it kind of reminds me a lot of my siblings that I've had who not my siblings, but my cousins who I've had who have been mixed race, right? So
Mhm.
yes, they're black, you know what I'm saying? So they've always kind of been accepted to the black community, but because they're light skinned, you know what I'm saying? Because they got curly hair or they got a white mama, they can get picked on, you know what I'm saying? They can get,
Right.
they like it's like certain
They get it
things that
from
they
both
have to
sides
deal,
too.
huh?
Get it from both sides.
They get it from both sides, right? And then like literally on the white side of their family, sometimes they're in some cases they were not accepted, you know what I'm saying, at certain times. And then at other times, you know what I'm saying, it took some time for them to build and cultivate those relationships and for people's opinions to change, you know? And so that's what I was saying when I think about, you know what I'm saying, you as an individual. I remember we were saying earlier, we came up with the word anomaly, and he was like, but that doesn't really count because I've met a couple of white people, you know what I'm saying, that were like me. I said, well, that's the point, SJ. You're a white person who, and then too, a lot of times when you meet white people who wear a coat of blackness, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
they they try to disassociate themselves from whiteness. You see what I'm saying? Like they
I
like
don't even
try
know what the
to.
fuck that is though.
So when I say that, like you still talk, like you don't say that you don't have a white mom and daddy. Right? I always see your mama. You post pictures of them. You know what I'm saying? This is my grandma. I love my auntie. It's not like you try to hide them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody who doesn't know about your white family is just because they're not really your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't hide your family. You know what I'm saying? You don't hide anyone. You just be yourself and just move around. But
Right.
but people, a lot of times, people who put on this armor or this coat of blackness, you can tell they're pretending because they're trying to hide certain parts of their lives. They're one person in this space, right? And then they're a
Mm.
whole nother
They go
person,
home. Yeah, they go home and
you
they take
know,
the coat off.
they take the coat off. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's not a coat for you, you know? And so I remember one time we were talking and you were just talking about the way people interact with you. And I was like, well, SJ, you got to realize, like, one, people are probably interacting with you in passing. So they don't know that this is how you are all the time. Like, this is
Hmm.
all the time, 24/7, every day, all day, right? You know, this is who you are, right? Because
Right.
we've met many people, and I know that you have too, you know what I'm saying, who are like this for like 5 minutes or when they rap. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, so, um,
Oh man, I'm getting pictures in my head too. I'm like, I can't
you
do
know,
that. You know?
You
Because it's like,
know,
that cool people, they mean well, but
but
there's the
but
but.
and that's what gives you such a hard time, right? Because and I know that you don't understand it, but I'm kind of having with everybody the private conversations that we have with SJ. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he'll come to me like, "What the heck? Why does this happen to me?" I'm like, "Well, SJ, it really has nothing to do with you at all. Period."
Right,
Some
right.
random white guy did X, Y, and Z, right? And this person is responding to that. You
Are we
know what
gonna
I'm
get into
saying?
that one tonight, or we gonna save that one
No, go. Yeah, let's go. Let's come on. Let's go with
right
it. Yeah,
now?
I'm ready. Yeah, right now. Let's go. Let's jump in. I am so ready.
I'm
Let's
so
jump
look.
in.
I can laugh so hard now about it because I'm glad it happened to me.
For sure.
Not, not somebody that wouldn't be able to dissect it and digest it. Because I was hurt at first. I was more mad, and I was drunk that night because I was having such a great fucking time.
You know, I know. I know. Do you want me to set it up?
Yeah, it's your show. You do
Okay. I'll set it up and then SJ, feel free to jump in. Feel free to jump in. Okay. So this was a night that SJ was as I guess you could say we could say he was discriminated against. Okay. So there's a yearly event that happens
It's
where
called
like
Fuck
black
White People.
it's originally it was called the Pilgrims Massacre, but it's now been called to the RBG Weekend Showcase. And so basically, it's just a space where Black artists get together. They do really dope content that everybody performs. It's a really social night. We sell, we vend, and it's just people get to collaborate and interact with each other.
Right,
But it's a Black space, right?
right.
It's a space where it's a space for Black artists where we can kind of just move booze and be around each other. And so And so this particular day when SJ comes, this is the first year the name has been changed, right? So every other year it's been called the Pilgrims Massacre, and because it happens on Thanksgiving weekend generally, right? So
And you know what? Just thinking about that, had I seen Pilgrim's Massacre, because I understand the history of pilgrimage and all that shit and how they did the Indians and black folks and all that, I would probably been attracted to that title alone. Like, yeah, fuck them pilgrims. Because it was
I say,
them
I
was
say,
them old Spanish pirates and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, go
right,
ahead.
for sure. Uh, so anyway, crazy thing, right? Pretty much everybody who's
So
performing
boom. So boom.
this night that's local because there's a lot of people from everywhere. We got people from Texas, we got people from North Carolina, New York,
That's
people from
where
everywhere.
it got crazy too, because they didn't know who I was.
Exactly, it's literally people from everywhere at this particular event.
Right.
But the funny part is like literally everybody who was at the event from Little Rock knew him. You know what I'm saying? And when he
Yeah.
came in, everybody
Not
was
an
like, "Hey, what's
exaggeration.
up?" Because we really didn't think about it because he be at all the hip hop events, right?
Right. Right.
It wasn't until it was not until people got on the microphone, started dropping hints about the space. I was like, oh, dang, that's right, SJ here. I was like, but, like, I don't know, man. I felt bad, but I also understood where she was. I knew what she was saying, right? It's our space. We get it. We do it once a year. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? One time a
Right.
year, we have all Black music, all Black energy. You know what I'm
But see,
saying?
that's all I grew up on. Like, other than my own family, like the people I would see, because that's my blood. It was all everything was all black when I was growing up. Other
I
than,
say,
obviously everything that y'all deal with, in the world, you turn on the TV, watch a movie, listen to the radio, you in the white influence, the European influences in there. So yeah, I see it just like y'all, but like it was an all black experience growing up, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Other than
mm,
my own family.
mm.
So
You know,
uh-huh.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say, you know what? I teach I teach college, and so one of the cool things about teaching at a HBCU is that you get like this diverse group of Black kids. You know what I'm saying? We got like Black kids from everywhere. Black kids from the South, Black kids from big cities,
Right,
and Black kids from the Caribbean, all kinds of places. But we have a pretty nice number of African students.
right.
So like when my African students come to class, I ask them, so how many black presidents have you had? How many black bank owners do you know? When you walk down the street, how many black people do you see? Have you ever been a week without seeing a white person in your life? Have you ever been an entire day? Have you ever been 24 hours? You know what I'm saying? And so these African people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, all our person's black. What you mean? You know, I see white people around, but I could definitely go a couple of days without seeing them, and then I'll ask the same things to my black students.
Sometimes I
How
wish I could
many
do that.
how many black presidents have you had? Right?
Right.
One. How many days can you go if you need like some mental peace because you might have had a traumatic experience? You know what I'm saying? How many
Yeah.
days can you
Definitely.
go without seeing a white person? How many
Right.
days can you go? Right? And leave your house and move around and be social. What space can you go in and only, you know what I'm saying? Where does that exist for you?
And
Right?
that's shit that white people have never fathomed for Black Americans. They've never mentally put themselves in the shoes of, you know, especially everything we know happened last year with George Floyd and all, and the shit that's been happening. For some reason, that was the one that got everybody pissed off enough to do something about it.
Right.
That was the one. That was that straw that broke the camel's back. But
Icing on the
before
cake.
that, huh?
Icing on the cake, I guess. Yeah.
Right, all that, and I mean that across. Like I know black folks been tired, but
Right.
since day one, but that was the one for white people to finally be like, all right, goddamn, you know. And there's been a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other allies through the years, but that was the one that just kind of went shit. And but they haven't. The average, I might have to say that the average white person has never even put themselves mentally in those shoes to go, damn. If I turn the news on, and every few months there's black people killing young white boys, and I know that I'm only in this country because my people were enslaved. Like they don't even go down that road of thought. They don't even have to, and so they don't understand. It's so fucked up. They don't even know how to be empathetic.
Yep.
They don't even know how to. Like how could you be that empathetic? It's impossible for them to go, damn, this and that happened. How would I feel? They don't. I'm almost at a loss for words because I can't describe what they would have to go through mentally just to try to understand. Just to
I
try to
say.
understand.
I say. You
You
know,
know,
I
I'm not saying I fully understand. I'm not saying
but
like I'm
you
an
have a much
exception.
better understanding than most of your counterparts, right? Than most white people. And you take. I would even say that you the fact that you even try, right? Like you said, most people wouldn't even try to think about it. They wouldn't even take their mind wouldn't even go to the space where, oh, maybe I should, right? You know,
Mm.
consider.
The shoe on the other foot. You know,
I
like
say,
how passionate I am about my friends, period, and then especially my black friends. Like, not to say y'all need my damn help, but I know one damn thing. If some shit go wrong, I'm speaking up and I'm gonna try to, you know. And this is not white guilt. I don't live in white guilt.
I
You know what I'm
say,
saying? That's not going to help anybody. Feeling all sad and guilty because of what some motherfuckers did before I was born.
I
Fuck them
say,
motherfuckers. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just build on what I got, what I was given, and let these other pussy ass motherfuckers feel guilty and shit. Because I feel like white guilt is like a weak ass cop out. Like it's just for you to go in your corner and cry about the past instead of doing something about what we got right now.
right,
You know what I'm
action.
saying?
Yeah.
But I don't want to get started on that because I'm gonna get pissed off. So
Mhm.
it's just I could just imagine after witnessing my friends go through shit with the police and all the racism and how much I love them, put the shoe on the other foot. Let me actually be black, or just change the whole perspective to where black people did to white people the same thing white people did to black people. How would I feel? How
Mm.
enraged would I be on a daily basis? I would probably be in jail or dead. I would be, like, you know what I'm saying? Just not for the fact it's black and white, but for the principle of right and wrong. You know what I mean?
If it were that simple, if it were that simple, I say, if it were that simple.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
almost went to jail and broke almost. I think I broke my hand, but it healed up. But this white boy called somebody a coon. I didn't know the dude he called a coon, and I knocked this motherfucker out. And I'm not proud of it,
Mm.
but I went home and cried about this shit.
Mm.
It was 2019,
Mm.
and we're still dealing with this shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and the sad part is, I went back into the club I was at, and it was white-owned establishment, which I would never fraternize again or be a patron of. But they started buying me more drinks. The security bought me a drink. I'm like, I did your fucking job.
Mm.
You know, but I remember I blacked the fuck out. They
Mm.
kept trying to kick this white boy out. He's with his white friends. And everybody's like, just leave, bro. And he got in one of my homeboys' face, and he's Spanish.
Mm.
And I mess with him because he says he's not white, but I'm like, but you're from Spain. You know, that's Europe, you know, and I drive him. So we crack jokes. So that's a tidbit. But he got my homeboy's face. That's how I got involved. And we was like, man, you just need to leave. You're drunk. You need to leave. They keep kicking you out. And then dude tried to like swing on me. And him and his homeboy tried to fight me. And like all the shit went down. And then all I remember, I was cool until he called his black. He said, you fucking cool. And I just like blacked out. And next thing I know, he was on the ground and my shoe was on his face. Like I had kicked him in his face. And that's the one time. I'm not no fighter. That's the only person I've ever fought like and knocked the ass out. And then I went and sat down at the bar, and his homeboy sat next to me. I saw what you did to my friend. I said, well, you better back the fuck up then.
Mm.
So I say all that not to be cool and like I knocked somebody out, but I say all that to say that small bit of confrontation had me that enraged
Mm.
to go to physical altercation and all that. I can't imagine how some of my homeboys might feel.
Mm. Mm.
Like I could see why some of these cops are getting shot for no reason.
Mm. There ain't no
Not
reason
saying
then, right?
yeesh, you know. So that's what that shit pisses me off, man. Like I have to like go to a space where I can't think about none of this racial shit almost every other day.
Right. But that's an option for you because we can't go to a space where we can't think about it. I say.
Well,
Ain't no
that's
space
when I
you
cut
can't think
every
about it.
right. And in a way, I can't either because my daughter's mixed. I got to think about her.
That was my neck. I was going and so I don't want you I don't want you to feel, you know what I'm saying, because I know how kids are, you know what I'm saying? So don't share more than you want to about your baby, because I'm ticky about my baby too, but I do talk about her, right? But just in general, you do have a black daughter, you know what I'm saying? I was just going to
Yeah.
ask you, are there any fears that you have, you know what I'm saying? Not only as a father, but as just as a person who is aware, you know what I'm saying, of the way people are treated based on race. We had a conversation. I remember one time we had a conversation about um the dominant trait, dominant genes, right? And we were just saying like your baby look black, right? Like period. When you look at your baby, you know what I'm saying, she looks like a light-skinned black woman. She doesn't really even, to me, she doesn't really look even mixed, right? Like it's not like her hair is really soft and curly like her hair. So her hair is nice and poofy, and you know, she looked like a light skinned black girl. She reminds me of several of my lighter skinned cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not like people will necessarily look at her and be like, "Oh, you're half white," right?
Right.
They'll
No, they don't.
probably
I mean, and that's a big thing in my mind. Not a big thing, but that's a big thing that I've always thought about because all this racist bullshit. I can't think of the fucking movie. But what's the term? Octoroon? Octoroon?
yeah, mulatto, octoroon, mulatto is the normal
So
term, but octoroon,
if
there's
you
several
had
terms.
if you were even 16th black, you were just
Yeah,
considered black in America.
yeah, one drop of blood rule. Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
That comes from all that racist shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All that fear. Like
And ownership, though, SJ, and ownership, right? So you have to remember that plantation owners were greedy, right? So not only did they sleep with their slaves, right, out
right.
of lust, but it's also to make money, right? So any baby that had a drop of blood in them, technically they could sell, right? Because slaves could be sold for, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Some of them were
Right.
sold 300 to $1,000. $100,000 was a lot of money at that time, right?
Right.
So it was also about greed, right? It wasn't just about, and also about protecting the race, right? So if we
Yeah,
make sure
protecting the
that
race.
there's no mixing done, right? Like you have to be pure white, right? So yeah, it's very loaded. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because I mean, obviously, we had Thomas Jefferson whack ass, you know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
get that. But I just remember like in some movie when I was younger that came out and it was this it looked like a white boy, you know, but his lips were a little thicker, his hair was a little curlier, he might not get a sunburn, but
Mm,
he couldn't marry his wife because they had proved that he was octoroon or whatever.
mm.
And so I think about that and I'm like, when you mix the races, you can obviously tell, what I'm saying? Like most people could tell my daughter's mixed, but then again, you have some people that are just black and they're not mixed with white and they're light skinned.
Can they tell that she's mixed, or do they see her with you?
Well, then I haven't really heard any stories outside of when she wasn't with me.
Right. So I mean, if I see your daughter with you, I, you know what I'm saying. But if I just saw your baby with her, if I saw your baby with me walking out, if I had your daughter with me and my daughter, you know what I'm saying, and somebody asked me about her, I don't think that they would ask if my baby daddy's white. If that
No,
makes
because I'm cool and people can't ride like me around here.
sense. Whatever.
No,
But
I'm
I
saying
feel
like
you.
look, I'm gonna just talk my shit for 2 seconds. I'm an exception, goddammit. So like most people wouldn't assume that just by default. They would just think baby daddy was light skinned or Mexican.
I got you. I say. Most people, I feel you. I agree. Most people don't think that you're white. I see what you're saying. Yes, that's
I
very
was
true.
not saying that.
That's not what you're saying. What you
No,
think?
I'm saying if me and you made Zakayla
Yeah,
and I wasn't with you and people saw you with Zakayla, people
yeah.
just assumed your baby daddy was light skinned.
Got you. Yes, yes. I agree.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't even fathom like white boy, especially with your demeanor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes a
Right.
difference too. The way you carry yourself and your demeanor from just the whole thing from top to bottom.
I got you.
It could
Yeah.
be it could be one of my other black homegirls who kind of acts white. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
And I'm
Got
not
you.
saying that's how I feel.
Got
And
you.
and they were like, her baby daddy probably white because
Got you.
the way
Carry
she
culture
talks
differently.
and her hair, she got weave in and she got her hair pressed and some shit like that. But they would see
Using my
you and they would just be like,
stereotypes. Yeah.
yeah, like one of my homegirls, she works in the news field, right? So she gets on the news and she's like, tonight on channel so and so news. And then she dresses a certain way, she talks a certain way, but she's pro black, blackly black. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But she's in that world of where she's had to, not saying she did it because she had to, but she's in that world, that realm.
Mhm.
It's the news. It's channel
Mhm.
whatever. I'm not gonna put her business out there because she's the
Right.
only black woman from Little Rock during the protest. So it's actually out there with the shit with the people.
I say.
And I don't want to disrespect anything she got going on
Right, but
herself.
she code switch. I understand that, and that's something that we have to do. We have to be able to maneuver in more than one space, you know? So
Right.
yeah, I definitely
That takes me
understand.
back to elementary school.
Hmm.
I thought I was supposed to act a certain way.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. And I'm still looking
Yes.
for something in my car. Yeah, so like
Hmm.
it can get complicated and it shouldn't be.
But it is, right? So I actually saw an article today that made me think about you in the conversation that we were going to have today. I should have tagged you in it, but I didn't think you would be interested. But anyway, it was this long article about Megan Malark. That's why I didn't think you'd be interested. Megan Malark, because she married Prince Harry. But Megan Malark is mixed. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm gonna tell you something. I do not keep up with celebrities.
Okay, cool. So let me tell you the story, okay? So
Uh-huh.
basically, Megan Malark is a mixed race actress here from the United States of America. Her mom is black, her dad is white, okay? They have not been married for a long time. They've been estranged. Her white father was never really a part of her life. Anyway, fast forward to a couple years ago, she meets Prince Harry on a blind date. Prince Harry is, the Prince of England or whatever, Diana's son with the red hair. You know
I
what I'm
thought it
talking
was
about?
Charles. That's their daddy.
Yeah, yeah. So like it's Britain. is also super racist, like the United States of America, but Britain has more of an undercurrent of racism, right? They're very subtle with their racism, kind of just more
Oh yeah.
snarky, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Long story short, this tabloid piece that I saw, or this collection of the tabloids that have been going on around her, they basically show how, like, from the time Megan, who's half white, you know what I'm saying, got with Harry, like how the press in England has been dragging her, and they've been pitting her against William, the older brother's wife, who is white, right? And so she
Like
has,
she's not up to par.
huh?
As
Yeah,
if
like
she's
she's
not
not
up.
up to par. She's not up to par. They can do the exact same thing, and Megan is dirty and nasty and being ghetto and ratchet and hood, and she's not from
But
the
if the
hood
white
at
girl,
all.
if the white girl does it, she just living her life and shit.
Right. She's being royal and amazing. And so, long story short, is like after 2 years of trying to be part of the royal, trying to, like, do what she was supposed to do her duty, right? That they have left the royal family. They've left, you know what I'm saying? They're no longer part of it.
Also,
Yeah.
It's Harry with the shit.
Yeah, Harry left. Yeah, Harry left the family, and they moved to California. But the crazy thing is,
Not
like,
Cali.
yeah, they moved to California. But the crazy thing is because they have kids and stuff now. And I think her big thing was she didn't want her kids to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, that's what I think happened. I think that she didn't want her kids to have to deal with that. And so, long story short, under the thing, a friend of mine posted, and she wrote this long, drawn out post, and she said, I'm not anti interracial dating, but I think this is a major fear that most people who choose not to date outside of their race have. We know that the world is not ready for, you know what I'm saying? We already know what kids have to go through as black
But they're gonna
children.
have
You
to
know what I'm
get
saying?
ready.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said, but they're gonna have to get ready.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, most definitely. Because they here, period. You know what I'm saying? But she was just saying, as a black parent, she said, I make a conscious choice, right? As a white person, it's almost a little bit more naive, right? Because you really haven't had all of the negative experiences, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
that black people have had on a daily basis. But
Right.
black people, you know that one, the negative experience they're going to have already, but then there's the fact that it can be compounded, right? And you can get it from both sides and from every end and from every angle. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so, she was just saying that when you go into a relationship, it is something to consider, right? To consider uh, uh, how it's not only going to affect you, but your child, so that you can prepare them for it. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they can be prepared mentally to deal with it, to deal with the world, because you can't control the world. Your love doesn't protect them from the world. You know what I'm saying? And it just
Right.
makes me think back to my cousins, you know what I'm saying? Because they deal with a lot of shit growing up. And ironically, both of them decided to marry black partners. You know what I'm saying? So
And these are
yeah,
your cousins?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're
Mm.
white. They're white.
No, they're mixed, but they were
Oh, okay.
raised. But as far as I'm concerned, I think they were raised black. But it's also interesting because they were raised by my white auntie, who's always been around us, and which is why I kind of understand you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not really an anomaly to me. You're not weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Because auntie, she's been around forever. Like my whole entire life, she's been here. She's been present. She always, I would like. She put the newspaper down on the floor when it's time for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? She know how to make the potato salad better than, you know what I'm
She
saying,
don't put she don't
than my
put
mom, because
raisins
she
in
was in the
her
kitchen with
shit.
my grandma. Yeah.
She don't put raisins in her shit, huh?
No, no, no. She don't. No, no. I remember one time. So I went to all PWIs. I remember one time, predominantly white institutions, white colleges. So I remember one time my auntie came to me at one of my schools because we were, I don't know, she came up there with my mom to visit me for something because they're riding buddies. And she pulled me to the side and she said, China, I went to this party with my sister and I'm so uncomfortable around white people. They're just weird. They have weird conversations. And she just went on and on. She's like, I didn't realize I've been around black people so much that now I'm uncomfortable in white space. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought that was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, for a certain part of her life, she just really didn't really mess with white people. You know what I'm saying? Like not
I
on the
was
regular
I
basis.
was I was the only white boy at my 13th and 14th-year-old birthday party,
Wow.
and I was
Yeah.
dancing with the girl that was my age, and everybody on the block wanted to get with, and she so happened to like white boys. Hey, Robbie Walker, I'm calling you out.
I say. I
But
say.
yeah, I get it. I get it. It's funny, and that's why when you asked me way early on, like, where do I feel like I fit in? It always changes, but it never really changed who I was. It was just always more like a thought process, like in realizing like there's so many different perspectives and feelings and inputs and we technically we all don't ever just fit in everywhere. It
For
doesn't
sure.
matter. We
For sure.
don't. You know what I'm saying? And I was raised well enough to where I can translate any room I go into, white,
Mm.
black, gay, straight,
I
Mexican,
say.
Asian, like I, cause I'm a fucking decent human being.
I
That's all it
say.
takes.
That's all it takes. Good
Just be
energy.
a decent fucking person.
Yeah.
It don't
I
matter.
agree.
I got friends that are atheists. I got friends that are Christians. That right there will separate people, and they won't even be friends.
For
I,
sure.
I welcome it. Why
For
don't you
sure.
believe in God? Give me something to think about. Why
Mm.
don't you like black people? Okay,
Mm.
watch your mouth, but I want to hear it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
say.
Why don't
That's
you like
important.
Jewish people? Huh?
Hmm. Hmm. I said that's important, and I think we had a conversation one time. And I told you I was like your because of who you are, you have a job. You know what I'm saying, and it's important for you to have those conversations with these. I was gonna say these crazy white people. You know what I'm
They
saying?
crazy.
You
What?
know,
They are crazy. They are crazy. Why wouldn't you like an entire race of beautiful, fine motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
what you doing? We
Paul
ain't got nothing but
Mooney.
love
Paul
energy over
Mooney.
here.
Paul Mooney said this shit. He said somebody asked him, it was on Dave Chappelle's show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was some like Punjabi guy, he was foreign. He's like, why do black people always do this and act like this? And he said, why Paul Mooney talking this shit? Well, why you do this, motherfucker? Blah blah blah. And he was like, man, look, black people are cool. Black men are the most copied beings on the planet. We cool, we got style, we this and this and that. He said, everybody want to be up, but don't nobody want to be up. You know what
I
I'm
say
saying? Like, and I was
that.
like, that's pretty accurate because
That's
like a lot of
very
these other
true.
people out here, like, they want to absorb it, but they don't want to really reflect it.
I say.
You know, so
I
it's
say.
the people are crazy, man. Like, I just never understood any of that. Like, I think as far as any kind of prejudice that I never really understood that I'm still learning about because it's hard for our society to accept was people accepting gay people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
grew up, I had gay uncles, gay friends. Didn't even know it. I just thought they just talked a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, bitch, all that stuff they do. And I'm like, man, what the fuck you talking about? Like that's still my bro. Like, you fuck with him, you fucking with me.
I say.
But that's not nothing you could look at somebody and be like, oh, he gay,
Mm.
unless he wearing something that we think
Flamboyant.
is
I
gay.
say. I
But
say.
so it's different when it's race. Like, there's people that see an Asian like fucking chink and they'll say some racist shit in their head. Or the same thing with black people, or vice versa. You have a black person that's lived with all this trauma and PTSD, and they see a white person like, yeah, I don't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
say.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
you can identify that from a mile away. But
Mm-hmm.
I just never understood. So the thing with gay people is a little different, but because it's not right off the bat identifiable. But
Mm-hmm.
I just never understood why people, and it predates us. I could just never fathom, like, why wouldn't you want to get to know somebody? You know how boring it is being around people that look like you all the time. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, that shit is boring as fuck. Like, I have never, like, we talked about like me having a mixed daughter, being married to a black woman. I have never dated a white girl, not on purpose. I've never had sex with a white girl. I've never
Mm-hmm.
hung around a white girl more than 24 hours other than my sister, my mom, or one of my cousins. like dead ass. And one of the main things that pops up when, like, in me being dating outside of my race, you know, the little racial, the not racial, but the stereotypes, like, so is it small? And I'm like, is it true they say about white boys? I'm like, what I pull it out of. I make them say, is it true? Y'all got little dicks? I'm like, bitch, I don't measure dicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you fucking serious? This is funny. This is shit I dealt with growing up in high school. My homeboys messing with me. Yeah, I see you talking to old girl, but she ain't gonna like you. Why? Because you know y'all ain't working with shit. Oh, okay. You got jokes. Watch me take her to homecoming then. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was always funny to me because I never dated in my race. Cause it's like I don't want to date nobody look like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. I don't know if that's off topic, but it's just weird. It's boring. I don't understand why people don't want to just embrace other cultures. Even with me being picked on from white and black people, I mean, I got picked on down to my motherfucking soul, the core of me. Everything about me was picked apart by people that were my friends and people that I didn't know on the white and black side. Like those white people told me I wasn't shit. You a nigga lover. You a wannabe. You a this. You a that. You a that. Okay. Same thing on the black side. Oh, you just one of us. You ain't shit. You honky, you peckerwood, you jive turkey, you white bread, all that every day. From, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I would continue on. My best friends in school were every kind of color. I just don't understand that ideology of now. All right, I got to say this first. I do understand for Black Americans and other minorities why identifying with your heritage is so important because it was stripped away. I get that. You dig? I don't understand for white people why it's so hard to just open up and learn from this motherfucking melting pot that you ate off of for so long. American is not built off of white accomplishments.
Right.
Other than the fact it learned how to pimp every other culture.
I say. I say.
I hope that didn't get too weird. Man, it just froze up on my end. Oh, it's the Illuminati. They don't want us talking about this. Let's see what's going on here. Everyone can see and hear you. All right. So if y'all are on here, I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, we back. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna come right back. I'll be right back.
I need to put my stuff back on the charger, baby. I appreciate if my stuff is still going. Hey, Star. Hey, Mama. Mama, I was just telling China.
You back.
We back. I feel like both of our
Okay.
energy
Oh, dang, I
keeping us
can't
off
hear you
topic.
again.
Can't hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
I can
Did it
hear you.
end? You can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can hear mom's phone in the other room because she's watching. And I can hear your voice in there, but I can't hear you on mine for some reason.
Are you on?
Hey,
On,
and we got
on
people
a
in the
laptop?
chat box. So can you shout out? You got Star Jackson on here. You got Mommy, Magnolia. Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, say something, SJ.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, damn it, drove. Okay, so I don't really know how we're gonna make this work. The rest of it, we were having a really good conversation, and you can hear me, but that doesn't work. Hold on, let me see something. Second, can you talk again? I'm gonna see if I can hear you on the other phone.
Yes, this is Stephen James. I'm here and I'm talking. This is a sound check. This is a reboot. We live. We live. We live. We're doing things.
Okay, SJ, can you log out and log right back in? I think that
Yeah,
might help.
no problem.
Okay. I can hear it now. Hopefully it'll work this time. Live, live, live. You hearing me talking, but I can't hear it. I wonder if it's something I hear. Maybe my sound's not up. I do that sometimes. So that's what it was. That's what it was. My sound wasn't up. We're gonna just delete that part. We're not gonna tell SJ when he get back. My sound wasn't up. But SJ will be back in a second. Here he is coming in right now so we can finish our conversation and my sound.
All right.
Ashay. Okay, we back.
Can you hear me?
I figured it out. I can hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
I just want to say this too.
Okay.
It's totally up to you. We might have to do a part two because we talk so sporadically. We get off topic. Because I thought about some stuff I haven't really answered before.
For sure.
Because we only
Most
touched
definitely.
on the pilgrimage, the massacre of the pilgrim thing. I didn't even really respond. I just you said some shit and I went on a whole nother thing. That's my fault.
No worries. No, I like the conversation to go that way because I really want natural discussions. Because when we have natural discussions, we have honest conversation,
Right.
and we've hit on way more, you know what I'm saying? And if I would have been like, okay, we're going to talk about race and,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Why you are like you are and shit. No, that's not what we're going to do. We're just going to have a conversation like we do every time. But we do need to definitely going to have to do a part two. So we can just go ahead and start wrapping it up a little bit since we definitely know you're going to come back.
Right. Ashay.
So, but I do want to wrap up by kind of saying, one, so I want to kind of talk about how I think you fit into Black culture, right?
Right.
And I think it was cool that to have you kind of at the end of Black History Month. One, I'm African centered. I study Black History 365 every day. We doing something with Black culture, Black oriented, because it's just part of who I am. This is how I live my life. But in my research and my study, I found and come to understand that Black people are the first people, right? And when we speak about humanity and we understand people as human beings and we move on that spirit energy that you're talking about, as long as I'm a good person and I move into the space, you know what I'm saying, with positive and love energy, it should not be an issue. But there are so many historical and cultural barriers that have been brought up that kind of pull away from that, right? So we find ourselves as individuals having to navigate all this hate, you know, and we do have to deal with it because it really is part of the culture. You know, it is really part of our heritage. You know, they talk about PTSD and how it can be like in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And even when you don't have that energy within you, we have to move around this culture, this particular culture that we're in this space. You know what I'm saying? And we know how prevalent it is because we just had the 6th, right? They just try to take the Capitol over. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with protests every other week. Like all of freaking 2020 was a protest, right? They was killing a black body every single week, and it's still happening.
Man, I had PTSD just going to the protest, and that doesn't compare to a lifetime of dealing with that shit.
Yeah,
not to mention a lineage of it. But
I also wanted to say, right? So when we all people are related, right? Because we're all human beings. But I also wanted to say that
Bill Not a science guy even admitted, like, we come from Africa, motherfuckers. You know, like
Jane Elliott is who we need to talk about. We're gonna look up next time. We're gonna have some links on Jane Elliott. She fire, right? She's a white, I want to say anthropologist, psychologist. I don't know.
About the blonde lady that's always fucking with the white kids.
What? No, not with the white kids. I don't know.
She always be she'll have a class and be like, if you got blue eyes, sit in the back.
Yes,
like
that one. yes, that one. She came up with that experience, the blue eye brown eyes.
Man, that white girl's in there. This is not fair. I don't like it.
Yes, that one, Jane
so
Elliott.
You can go home, Becky.
I say. All right. At the end of the day, it only lasts for so long. But also, but that I'm glad that we brought her up. But I also want to say there have always been allies, right? Just like there have always been black people who have been against black culture, like Uncle Tom's or whatever you want to call them. There have always been white people who ain't been on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Who have known that we are human beings. I
had a bit of a time with that word ally at first. I didn't like it. And when I realized I didn't like it and I don't hold my friend at fault, but I feel like it put me in a box that diminished who I was to this person.
Yeah. Okay.
This is somebody I grew up with. Like we've been friends since the sandbox. My mother was her teacher. And I met somebody I'm not gonna say her name, you know, just out of respect. I met somebody randomly in the airport, and this I'm talking about dark skinned brother, long dreads, and just came from the jungle getting raw shea butter, dead ass, straight up. And I'm in the airport, and I look around, and I see him and this chick, and a bunch of white people sitting around, and I'm out there promoting my music, and I'm in Houston at the airport, so I sat down next to them. And we start talking. I'm like, here, take my CD. You know, he's like, I'm a DJ. I'm like, dope. He's DJ for Erykah Badu.
Dope.
And he's like, where you from? Little Rock. He was like, yeah, I know somebody from Little Rock. And we say the same name. He's like, you don't know her. I'm like, yeah. He calls her just to check my stripes. And she's like, yeah, that's Steven. He cool. That's my only white ally. And I went, ew. No, bitch, I'm your best friend from elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean that. Like, that's how I felt in the moment. That's not how I feel right now.
But I know I do see what you're saying, though. I do
like
see
that ally shit pissed me off for a minute because I'm like, I'm more than that to you.
Right. For sure.
I'm not just an ally. Yes, I'm an ally.
For sure.
But I'm more than that. For you know, if you don't know me, you never met me, and you hear through the grapevine I'm cool people, or you can just tell by my energy, cool, I'm just an ally to you.
For sure.
But if from me to you, I felt like she kind of I feel like she bitched up a little bit. She didn't want to admit she had a white friend.
Damn.
You know, like she pussied out on me a little bit.
I feel you.
You know,
And but there is that kind of weight, interesting thing. Actually, I don't mean to interject, but like one of the things that always baffle me that my friends will sometimes say to me is like they'll be surprised to be like, "You got a lot of white friends, China," and I'm like, "What? What does that mean? What did you expect me to not know any white people?" That's confusing.
So you're not. Look, you joke. Now, Joe, they gonna hit you with Joe about you ain't black.
Oh, but I've been
Joe
given all
Biden.
kinds of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I've been told all kinds of things like you talk white, you think you better than me. I've been told all kinds of dumbness, but I ignore all that because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know what I study. I know how I move. I know what I do.
They just don't. They just can't handle you because you fine. Let them get over it. You fine. E-L-E.
I take it.
Just be fine and let them get over it.
I say, but I do know it comes from both sides. Look at him dropped out. He'll be right back. But I do see in here, Star, you said, when is there going to be a part 2? We're going to, we'll just do it next month. We'll do it in March. And I'll make sure that I get a flyer out so that you guys can know in advance when we're going to have the next conversation. I know I've been tripping. I just been having, sessions and not advertising. Okay, I was just taking up some time until you got back on, but we just had a question from Star Jackson.
And I actually exit out. Oh, what'd you say?
Oh, no worries. We just had a question from Star Jackson. She said, when are y'all going to be having part 2? She want to turn in. I just tentatively said we're going to have it sometime next month. So we'll have it, just going to have it next month. So you don't have to wait too long.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Star is my good friend. We go way back. She was one of the first managers I had musically 10 years ago. Like she saw what we were doing. I was like, I want to help, and that's what she did. She helped out. You know what I'm saying?
Love it. Love it.
Star is an ally.
You're so silly. I say. Oh, I did want to talk about that a little bit. I wanted to talk about that word ally, right? So I feel you, and I kind of feel where you was coming from for that. So when I use the term ally, I use it so white people understand what my expectation is. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you're my friend, right? But a lot of times it seems like they feel that a little is enough, right? Or certain types of movement are enough. Like that's not what, like this amount of movement, like look at the way he moves. Then maybe I will consider you an ally. You see what I'm saying? So
see, I'm 10 on the ally charts then, because what you talking?
already. So I'm saying if you have a goal in mind, you know what I'm saying? Don't be Trump. Don't let Trump be your goal. You know what I'm saying? Don't let somebody who is half doing stuff be your goal, or even I don't know. I feel what you're saying, but I do use the term, you know what I'm saying, but I use it because I know it's a term that other people understand. I know it's a term
and that term is newer in general sense. Like it's a newer idea as far as people verbalizing. I feel like.
Well, then what were they calling it before? What were they called? What did they?
I don't know.
Okay, because I guess because of what I study, I've always heard the term. But when I think about like the freedom rides, I don't know if you're familiar with the freedom rides that happened during the bloody summer. But yeah, when the freedom rides happened, all them white people that was under, they got their butt kicked, that came out bloody and got killed and everything else. They were called white allies. You know what I'm saying? So when I think white allies,
I never heard that term until recently, but I know about the freedom riders. I know about these white folks who got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And that's what I was referring to when I was saying my friends got pulled over, I'll be with my friends and the police will fuck with us.
Right.
And I felt that because I'm an empath, like they're fucking with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're looking at me like, oh, you traitor. So they would, like, some of these white folks, obviously on a grand scheme of things, definitely didn't get it as bad. But some of these white folks individually got it fucked up.
Died.
And it did not make it. And that shit wasn't on no postcards. It wasn't in the news.
Of course not.
Dead.
No, nobody.
Postcards at a black burned bodies.
I say
they sold toes and feet and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Had picnics, brought their babies to watch the hanging and the burning of a black body celebration. And that's what I talk about. That's what we're fighting against. And you know what's crazy? I saw this timeline, SJ, and I was like, I need to bring this next time we have a conversation. But it showed like from like 1619 to 2021. And then like so the timeline went like this, right? And so from here to here was slavery. From there to there was segregation. And
Right.
like this much was left from where we are now, where people were born with people outside of slavery, born thinking of everyone as being a human being, right? Not based on color. Understand that people have intellect, despite the fact that when I say we, black people invented pretty much every freaking thing in existence. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at that, you know what I'm saying, it's easier to understand culturally, you know what I'm saying, historically, learn behaviors that we're fighting against, right? It's easier to understand how you, SJ, are an anomaly, how your parents are an anomaly in the friendship that they've created and cultivated, right? To have you, another child who is an anomaly, who now has a baby. And when I say anomaly, I literally mean it by the textbook definition, not the norm, not what most.
I think you actually used the word enigma.
Enigma.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at that. Actually,
I did a little. I looked it up.
Oh, did you? Okay. And so, what is the definition of enigma?
I don't remember right now.
Okay, enigma with an E. Actually,
I knew. I just thought the play on words could have funny in a rap, but I couldn't get away with it.
Okay, actually, I think both work. So, an enigma is a person or a thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand, right?
I'm the realest enigma you know.
I say, and then I said an anomaly. Let's look and see what that means.
I think it means a rare occurrence that they can't explain.
Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. I definitely think that you deviate from what is standard, normal, or expected for white male behavior in the United States of America. I say.
And I think I say as well. Like that's the funniest thing when we talk about like what is white, what is black. Like we know what is black. We know what is Hispanic. We know what is Asian. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to America, what is white other than all that?
Then hatred, outside of hatred and oppression.
Right. To me, everything in America is everybody else. Outside of white. Like we got a fucking thing called Taco Bell.
Which is definitely not Latino, right? Latinx, Mexican, none of that.
Like I'm going to the food truck. Fuck Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? Like and I had so many thoughts before with like, this is such a crazy ass conversation to have, and I wish it would happen more.
Yes. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And it does happen, but we need to have it open more. We need to have more public conversations of this nature. Because like you said, it almost seems like anytime me and you get together, we're going to have at least a 2-3 hour conversation. Not even necessarily on race itself, you know what I'm saying? But just on something that we've had to deal with that ultimately, you know what I'm saying, ends up kind of having to, having some reverberation around the culture in one way or the other,
This is something that was interesting to me as far as because I really didn't even dive into that night from the Massacre of the Pilgrims. I was invited by a black woman to that party.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of my good friends, Oya. You know what I'm saying? Me and her were working on some music and whatnot. Like me and her was kicking it, like, and we would have similar conversations me and you were having.
Mm-hmm.
She posted a video about 2 years ago. I was doing one of my songs at open mic, and she said, "My pro-black ass don't even want to be a fan, but I am." And she shared a video of me performing, and I was like, "What?" And so we like started kicking it. We already knew each other, and she was like, "Hey,
we was going to events. Like she was promoting her music and promoting my music. She was hosting my events. Like we was like grinding, and she invited me. You know what I'm saying? And then I got mad at her for not standing up for me at that event. Now this is the conundrum. She posted something that said, I don't like having what did she say? Oh my God. She didn't like the fact she had to choose between her friend and her people. And then I'm calling Osiris out right now. That's my brother. And I love you. But you didn't follow up with me, fam. When I called you about that shit. And I haven't heard from you since. And he said that shit didn't have nothing to do with me. But I talked to my brother YK, told him what happened. He said, now you know damn well if I was there, it'd have been a motherfucking problem. Because you're SJ. And that's not a whole bunch of capping and being cool. That's the difference. And that's when I say the difference between the spectrum of our experiences. I can't be mad at Osiris. I understand his frustration to a certain degree. I can only understand to a certain degree unless I talk to you. I can't be mad at Oya for not standing up for me at that party when I got kicked out because I was white. My daddy thought that shit was funny. Like in a good way. Like not like,
we talked about it several times. Yeah.
And he said that would only happen to you. And I was like, fuck that supposed to mean? He's like, cuz you're you. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten so many different perspectives from that. I talked to my dad, I said, Daddy, I got kicked out of a party because I was white. He laughed. He said, I've never heard no shit like that. That don't want to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Called Osiris. Bro, what happened? And he fronted on me a little bit. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I said, well, it's slipping my mind right now. And I got to make this point before we get up. Who is performing? She got the vegan spot on Chester.
Mental Sequence. Nora,
yeah. I felt like she handled it in the most respectful way possible. After the DJ and all them was like, fuck the other side. Ain't no love for the other side. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, fuck the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, fuck them.
That's right.
And I'm out there dancing and shit. And I'm watching you. I watch you perform. I was like, oh shit, I ain't got a chance to check her out yet. And I walked in and my girl Lauren was taking the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's BYOB. On top of that, I've been performing at the venue before, the Yard out in McAllen. I know where I'm at. Bow, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? African painting on the wall and everything back when I performed 10 years ago. So I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I walk in, one of my classmates is there taking the money. Like you said earlier on in the broadcast, like everybody know who I am other than the out-of-town people. I'm here, fuck the other side. And I'm standing there watching Nora perform. And it's Nora, right? And I hear not the DJ. There's a dude standing next to me. He said, yeah, man, fuck them crackers. And I looked at him. I said, yeah, man, fuck them crackers. Shit. You know, like them crackers.
Yeah, I say.
Those ones. And she came up to me and she hugged me like to talk in my ear. Not hug me, like embrace me, but like, she's like, baby, this is an all-black party. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not leaving. She said, huh? She said, huh? I said, I'm not leaving. I'm here. Like, it's cool. I know it's an all-black party. You know what I'm saying? And we talked later, and she came to my event, and you were performing, and she came to see you. And it was so cool because it gave us both a chance to be real with each other. And I will say this for the end of time so everybody knows it. She said, hey, SJ, I want to let you know it's nothing personal. I played stupid. I said, what you talking about? Because I wanted to hear her say it. And she said, you know, when you had to leave the party because it was an all-black event. I said, oh, it's all good. You know, it's cool. Now, she not knowing, like, I went home, like, mad as fuck, crying and shit, like, this is fucking bullshit. You know, like, not that y'all kicked me out.
Yeah.
That this is the state that we're living in life. I wasn't tripping like, oh, okay, these black folks kicked me out. Oh, now I got something against black people. No, it hurt me because that's what we're still dealing with as human beings.
Mm.
And she said, well, you know, there's parties we can't go to as black people because or like we can't go to some of these parties by these country white people or whatever. They don't want us there. And I said, maybe I don't go to them parties.
I say.
You know, and we've talked about this, but I'm only saying it for our viewers.
For sure.
And I told some of my black friends about me and her interaction. And I will say this, and I'm not gonna say their names, but I know one, and this is a black female. She said, I would have kicked that bitch out of my party. And I'm like, ugh, damn, how bad is it? I'm like, what's that gonna solve for me as a white male though?
Right.
Not a damn thing.
It's
definitely not gonna solve anything for anybody else. But that's what I was hearing from my black counterparts, my black friends. Like, I would have kicked her out of my party then. And I'm like, at that point, I don't feel it was black and white. It was just frustration and aggression and anger and not coming from a place of understanding and love. You know? They're not thinking like black and white at that point. They're just thinking, what did she do to me? Or what did she do to him? You know?
For sure. For sure.
And that's what we got to get past though. Like,
but we've had a couple conversations about this, and I do want to know if you do understand the importance of black space, right? Like,
I'm still learning.
Okay.
And where is black space?
Right.
Because the problem is, it seems like there ain't much of it in America.
There is none. You have to create your own, right? And so even if you don't value it, you can find yourself, SJ, in a space where there are all white people without you even thinking about it. You can just look up and it's just all white people around you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a luxury that like if you go look for it, it's very hard to go find it for a black person. But you can go to Benton, you can go to Bryant, you can go to Hot Springs, you can go pretty much anywhere you want to go. You know what I'm saying? And go find
sort of.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but I remember one time watching this this interview.
I can go to these places if I blend in.
For sure. And I hear what you're saying. And but that's why we talked about earlier you being an enigma and an anomaly because you don't fit in those spaces. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's not completely applicable to you, but it just as far as whiteness, right? And being around people who look like you, not necessarily people who look like you and have the same energy as you, right? Which is why you be around the people you be around, because those are the people who have the same energy.
So I could go act it out all day long and just be fine.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so mentally, psychologically, I can't really explain it. Like when I went to Africa and it was just a sea of black people, it was like black people as far as the eye could see. Like I went into the bank. The man owned the bank was black. The woman, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who owned everything was black. It was mind blowing, SJ. I was like, everybody, the president, the secretary, the treasurer, everybody black. Everybody is no token blacks around here. I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain the freedom.
I understand what you mean, though. I understand as best as I can, respectfully.
Right. And so I think that sometimes we try to create that space here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, people who don't know you can see you as somebody else. You represent something that is not you to them, right? Based on their personal experience. So I remember Adrian came on one show and he was talking about if he says, ouch, it just hurt my finger. He said, if he says, hey, to a woman, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to holler at her or whatever, just, being cordial because he's a nice person. Hey, and she's like, oh, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me. He's not going to take that personal because clearly she has it. She's had some type of experience.
I'm listening. That's a hell of a way to look at it.
Right. Well, this is him, right? And this is him based on his maturity and his growth at the age of 41 or whatever that he's at. You know what I'm saying? So, but he said, but he's not going to take that personal because he knows that she's been through certain experiences. I also agree in certain cases, right? As a professor, I know that the students carry energy, right? The energy that you bring in the class might not necessarily be for me. So why am I going to respond to that energy and just exacerbate the situation, right? Um, I can think of situations when I talk to my students about bias and prejudice, right, and racism and understanding the difference between them. Bias is technically a good thing because it teaches us based on our learned experience, right? So if I've been in an abusive relationship, the next time I go on the first date and by the third date the dude calling me out of my name, that's a good bias. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I want to walk away from this. You know what I'm saying? So that's healthy bias, right? Some of us have unhealthy biases based on unhealthy relationships that we've had, right? So like with women who I don't know, like have a brick on their shoulder against all men, or men who have a chip on their shoulder against all women based on a previous relationship that they've had. The same can happen with multiple experiences with white people. I've had several negative experiences with white males who pretend to be black, particularly as a rap artist, right? Particularly
What's their name?
Huh?
What's their name?
Shut up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm being hypothetical.
This record coming soon.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying I keep on seeing all these situations in my head, and so I understand the perspective that people be coming from, but I also understand that's not what that is, right? And if you took time to look at it and understand what it actually is, then you have a completely different experience, right? But I also know we're human, right? And how we move.
And that's why I said early on in our broadcast, I'm glad it happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm mature enough, I've had enough experiences to be able to digest it and process it. And again, it was supposed to hurt. It should have hurt. I'm glad it hurt. Because I had a healthy way of understanding something I've never experienced. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get strung up.
I say.
You know what I mean? I didn't get my ass beat.
I say. And
thrown in the back of a cop car.
I say.
I understand those things. Hey, that's my friend right there.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Look, and when I came by the house, we was talking about the video, and she just came sit next to me, put her head on my shoulder. She said, she don't do that to everybody. She must have good energy.
Okay, SJ definitely got the good energy because she came right on over there.
That's the most flattering thing to me because I've been an advocate for the kids for so long. Speaking of Adrian, I was 17 teaching hip hop classes, and Adrian's obviously a few years older than me. And I just remember like being a student and a teacher at the same time. And I've always we'll just put it out there since we're getting honest. I would get called by white people that want to do some kind of hip hop class. I was a safe space, you know. And then I pull up with my bros, you know what I'm saying? We're like, yeah, that's when hip hop started, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm glad that I was that medium or whatever you call it.
Right, that conduit, yeah.
Conduit, yeah. But I've always been glad that I've been able to like be around kids and teach something and then be comfortable with me. Cause like I would have to pull some kids aside in my classes and be like, no, fuck, what's wrong with you, bro? And then they realize I'm cool. And they're like, man, I'm just mad, man. My mom and this and this. And I'm like, man, just chill, you know. And like I'd be able to talk to them. They're comfortable with me. And sometimes like they weren't comfortable with other white people like that.
For sure.
It's a learning process, and it goes back to that, like, where do I fit in? Like, maybe I never will, and that's okay. Maybe I'm not supposed to fit in anywhere.
I think you create your own space. I really do. And I think that you do a good job of doing that. And I think you can tell that by the variety of friends that you have. I have a lot of different friends too. Like I definitely have a lot of Black friends, but I have a very, like you said, I can say I have Latino friends. I have a variety of friends. You know what I'm saying? A variety of people that I enjoy spending time around and hanging out with and conversing and exchanging intellectually with, you know what I'm saying? So I think,
Eusapio?
huh?
Eusapio?
Eusapio.
Are you a sapio?
I don't know what that is.
A sapiosexual, somebody that finds
Heck
intelligence.
yeah, I am. I definitely am. Yes, I find intellect very attractive. Anyone I can have a very good conversation with, that's very important to me. Yes. And I like for you to be able to hold conversation with me. So if I have a particular interest, I need you to be able to research. Okay? Like if you don't know, go find a computer, read something, read a book. But yes, I am.
Right.
But I think it says a lot when you're able to move through several different circles and remain yourself, right? Not be a chameleon in all those circles, right? Not keep transforming who you are from space to space, but be able to be consistent. And like the SJ I know over here is the SJ I know over there, right? You know, so I think that's cool, and it says a lot about you as a person. So, like we created our own lane. I found out when I was 33 that I was a weirdo. That's what somebody said. I asked for whatever reason. I asked my friends. I still feel like I'm normal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody else is weird. But I asked like my close friends. I was like, so do you think I'm regular? No, China. Why would you ever think that you're no?
What's being to me? What's being weird is being like everybody else.
Right? You know, definitely.
Like that's weird.
Why
Like
would you get it?
normal is weird.
It is.
Like why the fuck would you act like everybody else?
Yes, it's not 1984. But
You talking about the book?
yes, yes,
Because it's happening right now.
I know.
Our kids are experiencing 1984.
How so? How so?
Your baby was doing gym class on a computer screen. Watch the movie. You seen the movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie. I read the book a while ago. Yeah,
there's literally a scene in the movie where this old ass white man wakes up and he gets on. Not gets on. He stands up in front of this computer screen that has a camera. We didn't even have that damn shit back then in 1984, and the book was right before that.
Yeah, yeah,
and
way before.
He's doing his exercises. And the lady that's telling him what exercise to do says, number 5. And I don't know what number it was. Number 5, you're not doing it right. And she's like scolding this person on the screen for not doing their shit right.
COVID.
1984 is here.
I say that's crazy.
Right now. And it blew my mind because I watched the movie. I failed English class at Central. And the book we had to read was 1984, but I watched the movie, and the movie's risque as hell. Like they're in there doing it and all that. And I just said it like that because your baby, I didn't know she was in the room. But, they're in there doing the do, and they're getting caught by like these cameras and all this shit. I'm like, this technology really didn't exist when they made this movie. They were projecting what could happen.
Right. And they were right. And
Point in case, Computer Love by Roger and Zapp came out before we had Computer Love.
For sure. For sure.
Your face I see on my computer screen. That was what, 70 something?
Yeah.
Wasn't no damn cameras for computers.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't Tinder. Tinder definitely wasn't popping. I say.
Look, webcams didn't come out till the 90s to the public.
Yeah.
Computer Love was definitely made before that.
Must have.
Could it be your face I see on my computer screen?
Maybe 80s.
George Clinton wrote that shit. From P-Funk.
Hey, I don't know nothing about it.
That ain't even rap culture, baby.
I say that's what I was thinking. I was like, see, natural. I say, get it honestly. I say, I was but because I'm really glad we had this conversation. We've been getting to this conversation for a while, and we are going to have to continue it. But we're almost at 2 hours, right? That's how dope and easy the conversation has been. But I'm not going to let us go over 2 hours. So we're at 154. So I'm going to make a standard 2. So I'm definitely going to have you back so that we can talk some more, you know what I'm saying, just about these types of conversations. I like the title culture spectrum, right? Because it really is a spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a variety, like it's all kinds of spaces that we maneuvering in and out of, so and actually there is a if you're interested, I'm getting ready to do like this talk back on this short story called Space Invaders. It was written by Derek Bell in 1992. It's a really good short story. Anyway, we're going to read the story and then we're going to have a talk back on it. So I would like to get your perspective on it as well. So I'm going to send you a copy and you can let me know.
Talking about Space Invaders like a video game?
No, so Space Invaders is a short story, and I'm going to be quick. I'm going to say it in 2 minutes. It's a short story by Derek Bell. He's a really famous Black critical theorist and writer, but basically he did like sci-fi. And he had this theory called critical race theory. Anyway, in this short story, the idea is that aliens come from outer space, right? They let everybody know that they're coming, and so everybody's expecting them. They have this big party. They show up on the New York coast, and when they come, they are like, "Yo, we'll fix everything. We'll fill all your money coffers. We'll fix the electricity. We'll clean the water. We'll stop global warming. Like we gonna fix everything on the face of the planet, make it perfect and beautiful.
And what cost?
For several generations to come. All we want is all your African American people. We need all the Black people. Anybody that's Black
The
in the United States of America, we need them. They got to come with us."
The Sun people.
Yes. So
yeah, go ahead.
So it's 15 pages, right? So in this 15-page short, because it's a short story. So in this 15-page short story, Derek Bell goes through like all of the different groups and different speculations that are happening by different parties. So from the president to the cabinet to like religious leaders, politicians, all these different perspectives on what they should do. Should they give up their Black people to save the planet? You know what I'm saying? Or, right. You know what I'm saying? Or do we keep our Black people and, try to figure out. So I'll let you guess how it ends. But
so I know we only got like a minute and a half. Somebody told me it had the Eve gene.
Eve gene?
Yeah.
That you have it?
Yeah.
What is the Eve gene?
You gotta Google it because I can't remember the exact definition. But then there was a Black chick, right?
Uh-huh.
She's like, "You got the Eve gene," and I was like, "What is that?" And I can't remember what it was, but then turns out that like it has to do with original people. And I was like, I don't know. I think you think I'm just fine or something,
You're so silly. She was trying to flirt.
Yeah, I think she was trying to cap a little bit, but there's actually a difference between the Eve gene in women and men, but it also has to do with like the original human and shit like that. But that's what I've been told, and I took it as a compliment. But I wasn't sure. Are you Googling it right now?
I am. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was I'm here in Google like, what is this Eve gene?
What is this? Because we learned something every day.
Okay. Immediate. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more research on that for next time. And yeah, so I'm gonna have you back, and I'll probably send you like some clips or something for us to talk about and discuss next time.
Okay.
Like the Megan Millark one, so I just don't throw it up to you randomly. You'll kind of know what I was talking about. With the chick that married Prince Harry and that all the issues they were having, which is why they had to move. He had to leave the royal family and all that. So yeah. Yeah, right. But he made the decision to leave, you know what I'm saying, in favor of his wife and his family. So I do think that's kind of dope, So I don't really follow tabloids, but I did read that particular, thing. Anyway, we got 1 minute, and I'm going to get you off here before 2 o'clock, before we do 2 hours. So thank you, SJ, for coming. You don't have to get off. I just have to press my end button. So you stay where you at, SJ. But we're going to say goodbye to everybody.
Tell Prince Harry come get his black card.
Tell
Prince Harry come get his black card.
His UAPB card. Now that's the SJ I remember. I remember that SJ right there. SJ. That's right. So thank you, everybody who came and watched. We appreciate you. You can check us out on Cultural Immersion Media. We are now streaming on Roku. Ashe. So if you have go to streaming channels, type in Cultural Immersion Media. You will see this up there soon. We are accepting content. Ashe. Visit culturalimmersionmedia.com. We're accepting content. We're looking for content creators. We're trying to get us out here on our platform. Super excited. See you guys next time. Peace and light.
Yep.
You stay here, SJ. Don't leave.
Okay.
Okay. Peace.